Hello, fellow Wolverines, and welcome back to Wolv TV SportsCenter. My name is Zach Warshaw.
And I'm Gabby Miller. In this week's episode, we'll cover football's 24-10 win over Wisconsin, hockey's 11-1 and 7-0 victories to sweep Mercyhurst, women's soccer's 1-1 draw with Iowa, men's soccer's 6-0 win over Chicago State, along with results against Michigan State and Rutgers, field hockey's 2-1 and 3-2 wins over Penn State and Rutgers, strong performances from swim and dive at the Be Better Invitational, and a look ahead to Michigan's primetime matchup at USC.
Last week, Michigan athletics saw plenty of action, and before we dive in, we want to apologize for the lack of video coverage. We're back and catching you up. Women's soccer secured a 1-0 win over Minnesota with Elle Irvin's header and a clutch penalty save from Sophie Homan sealing the deal. Field hockey split the weekend, falling narrowly to Maryland before storming back with a 4-1 victory over Old Dominion. Volleyball dropped a tough match to Michigan State despite strong performances from Lydia Johnson and Elle Demetrician, while men's soccer also fell to MSU in a close 2-1 contest. Now, let's move towards this week's results.
This past Saturday, your Wolverines secured a 24-10 maze-out win against Wisconsin Badgers. Wisconsin received the ball to begin the game and scored on their first drive thanks to a 5-yard touchdown rush from running back Dylan Jones. Michigan responded quickly with a 2-minute, 5-play drive that resulted in a 1-yard rushing touchdown from Justice Haynes, evening the score at 7. The only scoring play of the second quarter was a 40-yard Zavada field goal to give Michigan a 10-7 lead going into the half.
With just over 4 minutes left in the third quarter, in what now felt like the surface of the sun inside of the Big House, Michigan yet again scored a very quick drive. Underwood threw a 29-yard touchdown pass to Donovan McCulley to cap off a 3-play, 67-yard drive. In the fourth, Haynes secured another 1-yard rushing touchdown to put Michigan up 24-7. The last scoring play of the game was a 39-yard field goal from Wisconsin kicker Nathaniel Vakos, making the final score 24-10. Quarterback Bryce Underwood had a great game, posting a stat line of 19 for 28 with 271 passing yards and 1 touchdown. As per usual, running back Justice Haynes also popped off with 117 rushing yards on 19 carries with 2 touchdowns.
University of Michigan hockey opened up their season this past weekend on October 3rd, hosting Mercyhurst at Yosais Arena. They dominated the first game of the series, winning 11-1, with sophomore Will Horkoff tallying his first career hat trick, while the Big Ten Player of the Year, Michael Hage, racked up 5 points between 2 goals and 3 assists. The 10-goal win was Michigan's largest margin of victory to start a season since the 1990-91 season when they defeated Miami 11-1. The momentum continued into Saturday when the team won 7-0, completing their sweep. Freshman Jack Ivakovich saved 11 for his first career shutout. The Wolverines outshot the Lakers 51-11, going 4 for 6 on the power play. The team will take on number 9 ranked Providence at Schneider Arena this weekend for top 10 play.
The Michigan women's soccer team defeated Minnesota in a 1-0 victory on Sunday, September 28th, and tied on the road to Iowa on Saturday, October 1st. The win against Minnesota saw Elle Irvin score on a header for the lone goal of the match, paired with excellent goalkeeping, highlighted by a clutch penalty save from Sophie Homan, earning the victory for the Wolverines. The following 1-1 draw against Iowa saw Jenna Lang score her first goal of the season, but nobody else could capitalize, resulting in a tie. The team now looks to this weekend, welcoming in-state rival Michigan State to Ann Arbor on Thursday, October 9th, followed by Indiana on Sunday, October 12th.
The men's soccer team had an extremely busy week, going a perfectly even 1-1 over a 3-game stretch against Michigan State, Chicago State, and Rutgers. The team suffered their first loss of the season on Friday, September 26th in a 2-1 final against Michigan State, with Shuma Sasaki notching his 3rd goal of the season off of what was actually more of an MSU own goal. The boys bounced back quickly with a midweek 6-0 win of Chicago State on Wednesday, October 1st. 6 different players scored a goal in the game, and the final shot count saw Michigan put up 31 shots on goal to Chicago's 1. Finally, the team ended the stretch with a draw against Rutgers on Sunday, October 5th. Despite tallying 17 shots, stellar goalkeeping from both sides saw nobody able to find the back of the net, resulting in a 0-0 final score. The team now heads to Maryland to face the Terrapins on Sunday, October 10th. followed by a midweek visit to Columbus to take on Ohio State on Tuesday, October 14th.
Last weekend, the Michigan field hockey team resumed conference play, hosting Penn State and Rutgers at Phyllis-Ocker Field. The Wolverines hit the ground running on Friday, October 3rd, scoring their first goal of the game just over 7 minutes in. The initial shot made by Maxine Roga was saved, but a shot off the rebound from Kami Wiseman snuck just inside the right post. Late in the second quarter, Roga fired another shot on goal, tipped in by Abby Tamer. At halftime, the Wolverines held a ceremony for Alumni Weekend, also honoring former coach Marcia Pankratz after her retirement in April. The Nittany Lions spoiled goalkeeper Kaylee McMahon's shutout early in the third, but luckily, McMahon and Hala Silverstein were able to fend off all other attempts to secure a 2-1 win over Penn State. The Wolverines capped off their weekend with a win over Rutgers on Sunday, October 5th. The first half of the game went scoreless. Rutgers pulled ahead late in the third, but the Wolverines were quick to challenge with an equalizer netted by Juliet Manzur as time expired in the quarter. Claire Taylor scored what would have been the game winner midway through the final period, but refs on the field waved it off, saying it bounced off her arm before making it into the goal. Not to be deterred, Abby Tamer made the deciding goal just 7 minutes later that Rutgers was ultimately unable to answer.
On Friday, September 26th, the men and women's swim and dive team hosted their first meet of the season. Both programs joined Calvin, Hope, and Purdue to honor the memory of Ian Miskelly at the Be Better Invitational. This is an annual meet that promotes mental health awareness and supports the Be Better Foundation, a charitable organization established by the Miskelly family in Ian's memory. This meet marks the start of the third season under new head coach Matt Bow and the first season of brand new diving coach Brandon Loshievo.
Colin Gear kicked off his third season with the Wolverines with a time of 48.09 in the 100-yard butterfly. Eitan Ben Shitrit and Tyler Ray took first and second in the 100-yard backstroke with times of 48.97 and 58.6. Luka Mladenovic made his debut as a Wolverine, winning the 100-yard breaststroke with a time of 53.53. Freshman Antoine Suave posted a blazing 500-yard freestyle with a 4:29.16 early in the season. On the women's side, Hannah Ballard won both of her individual events with a time of 53.92 in the 100-yard butterfly, with her teammate Stephanie Balducini posting a 55.18. Ballard also won the 200 freestyle with a time of 1:49.02. Letitia Sims won the 100-yard IM with a time of 55.54, and Balducini posting a 55.18 in her 100-yard butterfly. The Wolverines are looking strong, with hopes of moving up in the NCAA with their sights set on a Big Ten title.
This Saturday, number 15 Michigan travels west to face 4-1 USC at the LA Coliseum, with kickoff set for 7:30 Eastern Time on NBC. It marks the Trojans' first home Big Ten matchup and Michigan's first trip to Los Angeles since the Rose Bowl era. USC enters off a bye week with junior quarterback Jaden Mayava leading an explosive offense. He has thrown for over 1,500 yards and 11 touchdowns with just one interception, spreading the ball to a deep receiver group headlined by Makai Lemon, who already has 589 yards and 5 scores. Running back Wayman Jordan provides balance on the ground, averaging more than 5 yards per carry and 5 touchdowns. But despite their offense firepower, the Trojans' defense has been inconsistent, allowing over 400 yards per game and struggling to contain physical rushing attacks.
For Michigan, the storyline remains the steady rise of freshman quarterback Bryce Underwood, who's shown composure beyond his years, and the dominance of running back Justice Haynes, who surpassed 650 yards and 8 touchdowns through 5 games. Wideout Donovan McCulley continues to emerge as a key target, giving Michigan an efficient, balanced offense capable of controlling tempo. On defense, linebacker Ernest Hausman and the Wolverines' front seven will look to pressure Mayava early and force mistakes, a formula that's paid off all season. Head coach Sharon Moore emphasized the need to finish drives, clean up drop passes, and match USC's pace from the opening snap. If Michigan can establish its trademark ground game, protect the football, and limit big plays downfield, the Wolverines will have a strong chance to leave Los Angeles with another statement Big Ten win.
All right, Zach, so I know it's fall, and I know it feels like football season, but we did have an exciting start to another season for a big sport here at Michigan. Let's talk hockey for a second.
I love hockey so much. I understand that Mercy Hurst is not the greatest talent in the world. It's not Big Ten competition. They're still D1, though. However, winning by a combined score of 18-1 through 2 games was absolutely insane, And to me, was highlighted both by the play of goaltender Ivankovic as a freshman, and established that Will Horkoff is him. I am so excited after getting a hat trick in the first game, then adding on to his goal total already in the second game. I am so excited to see this because 14 new players, 11 of them true freshmen, but they molded together so well and played like they've been playing together for years. And that was so great to see.
Yeah, I went to both games, and I was a little nervous at first because we saw last season kind of one of our downfalls was inexperience or like youth on the team, and I was a little worried that would be kind of a similar story this season as we do have 16 underclassmen, which is a huge amount. But if you do look at the breakdown of Michigan's current roster, there's a lot of people already drafted. Even there's a freshman already drafted, which is insane. So I think it's really cool to look at that. But I think another key takeaway is improving from last season. One thing Michigan really, really continued to struggle with was they could not secure a series win for the life of them. It was split after split after split. And starting your season with A, a series sweep, but B, this huge of a series sweep, like securing that many goals total, insane. And the amount of shots they put off, we never saw that, honestly, a lot throughout the season last year. So it's really cool to see all that. And I do think the one thing I'm a little worried about, I did see a lot of amazing offensive opportunities, especially between Horkoff and Hage. Hage obviously going behind the net a lot to do quick kind of give and go movement, and it worked so much throughout the weekend. Like Mercyhurst still just couldn't adjust and figure it out. But I think offensively we're going to pose some really good threats, and I'm excited to see that. We, however, didn't get to really execute a defensive showcase, so I guess that's kind of a question mark or a next chapter we'll hopefully see in as competition picks up. I know we have Providence on the clock, but I'm excited to see how the season pans out for the Wolverines. It's going to be a good one.
With Mercyhurst, there wasn't a lot of opportunity, respectfully, to show defensive prowess because
Agreed.
they controlled the puck 90% of the time.
I mean, each shift lived for this back at the end of the neutral zone. So,
but this series at Providence, again, number 9 team in the country, will be like, okay, can they really play, or
I'm
are they
excited.
just playing
Yeah.
a really not great team? But no, I'm very excited to see because I think it'll be a true test of are we actually for real?
I agree.
Or is it just a fluke because we were playing a team like Mercyhurst?
I agree. And like Mercyhurst, not to discredit them at all, their goalkeeper, amazing. But I just think it's really impressive to just see that while Mercyhurst is a good team, I know it's not Big Ten talent. However, it was really impressive to see Michigan hold off and really just execute their offensive ability, which is something we didn't see much of last season. So reversing that right from the get-go is very impressive.
I completely agree. I can't wait. That'll be all for this week's episode of Wolf TV Sports Center. I'm Zach Warshaw.
And I'm Gabby Miller.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody.